back. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. We back with the boxing link and more. Y'all know what it is. I'm straight the camera. Y'all know what it is. We back, and you know, if you guys didn't catch the video, we did about Victor Postal. You know, we know Victor Postal is being alright guy. You know, he lost to Terrence Crawford, beat Matisse, had a close fight with Hank Lundy way back when. Today he fractured his thumb. So he pulled out of the Regis Prograis fight. It was March 9th. I believe it was in South Dakota. And I believe Postal was still with Top Rank. So I'm not surprised. I mean, a lot of people don't know Victor Postal actually came back the same night as Triple G and Canelo last year. And got dropped in Ukraine, I think, in Ukraine. But got up and win versus undefeated guy. He didn't look hot, but he won a dog fight. And I was never fully convinced that he was going to take this fight Regis Prograis. It just seemed like he took a long time after losing to Crawford to come back, and he took over a year. You know, I just don't know where his mind is, you know. But he pulled out, and now Julius Indongo has inserted himself into this unofficial WBC welterweight title eliminator. Now, a lot of people seem not to know about this unofficial tournament. I seen Caviar Oli get it wrong. Shout out to him, Yahoo Sports, and his new YouTube channel, his interviews that he's doing. I seen a lot of people get it wrong. What this is between, there's 4 fighters. Crawford has vacated the belt. I seen Behind the Gloves interview with Josh Taylor. They got it wrong yesterday. What it is they took the top 4 out of 5 contenders because I believe what's the guy's name? Omar Figueroa was rated higher than Jose Ramirez, I believe it was. He was for Ramirez's fight. They skipped over Omar for whatever reason it was. So, and Miramon and Jose Ramirez is fighting in the theater room in Madison Square Garden. That's one side of the unofficial tournament. Postal and Prograis is the other side, which is now Julius Indongo and Regis Prograis, if you haven't heard. The winner of Indongo Prograis will face the winner of Miramon and Jose Ramirez for the WBC title. There you have it. But as far as, you know, breaking down Miramon and Ramirez fighting March 17th in Madison Square Garden Theater Room. St. Patrick's Day weekend. Michael Collin is on the undercard, obviously, because St. Patrick's Day. But this is a good fight. And Julius Indongo actually moved to Nebraska. He signed with Lou DiBella. Regis Prograis is with Lou DiBella. Indongo said his country, you know, pretty much turned on him after he lost to Terrence Crawford. His support went down, so he must have liked Nebraska, you know, a lot. So he's relocated to Nebraska. He's training out in Nebraska. I heard that he's improved a lot since losing to Terrence Crawford in the gym. You know, Prograis, you know, is a guy. He's one of those guys that a lot of people was riding that wave. Obviously, he hasn't been tested. He hasn't been on the same level as Julius Indongo or Victor Postal. But he's rugged, he's tough. He's from the South, he's from New Orleans. He's fighting out of Houston ever since Hurricane Katrina. He got flooded out in Houston as well, so he's tough. You know, he's definitely not technical at all. He's predicated on aggressiveness and power, and we know boxing fans are infatuated with power. If you got power and you can knock guys out, you're going to have a good, strong following, you know. He barely lost to Errol Spence on several occasions in the amateurs, just missing out on going to the Olympics with Errol Spence. He just missed out. And, you know, Indongo, we know what he brings. Indongo brings a rhythm, boxing ability. You know, obviously, I don't know if you question his chin, but he did get knocked out with a body shot versus Terrence Crawford. But he's long, he going to box. And basically, this is going to be a game of, I won't say cat and mouse. Well, basically, you can call it cat and mouse. It's basically going to see if Regis can cut the ring off on Indongo and fight Indongo on the inside, like Crawford hit him on the inside in the solar plex with that shot. And if Prograis is able to land some body work and chest, you know, Indongo's body, is going to be a good fight. It's going to be, can he cut the ring off? Can he jab enough to get on the inside and break Indongo's rhythm? Indongo is freakishly long and tall for Yeah, has he won more than 4 rounds, Regis Prograis? I don't know. But Indongo is long and tall. He fights with a rhythm. He's bouncing back. He got a good jab. He got good. Offensive rhythm. He's not the biggest puncher, but he scored a highlight reel knockout over there in Russia. He beat Ricky Burns. I mean, Crawford didn't stop Ricky Burns neither. Neither did Ray Beltran. And it's gonna be a good fight. I mean, he got to get to Ndongo's body first though, but that's possible. This is actually a better fight than Victor Postal. This is a tougher fight for Regis Prograis. And I understand that Victor Postal is a good fighter. Yeah, he won 12 with Burns. Yeah, who knocked out Ricky Burns? Could you please tell me? I mean, I don't think Ricky Burns has been knocked out. Crawford didn't knock him out. Omar Figueroa didn't knock him out. Didn't he fight him? Ray Beltran didn't knock him out. He broke his jaw. I mean, Ricky Burns is tough to beat in Scotland. You damn near got to shoot him with a shotgun to beat him. Especially, he got a good jaw, But Indongo is long. He fight with a rhythm. He can establish distance. And it's going to progress. This is a tougher fight than Victor Postal. Because obviously Victor Postal, he ain't the same at the Crawford from what I seen and what I heard in the last fight. And obviously Ndongo's coming off a loss. And a lot of people praising Indongo for taking this fight coming off a loss because he got knocked out versus Terrence Crawford. Even though it wasn't on the chin, it was into the body. But still, that was devastating. And for him, to take this fight in a world of fighters and boxers like Keith Thurman, just to name one, just to name one that needs tune-ups and tune-up after tune-up, for him to step up and take this fight shows that, obviously from what I heard that he's improving in the gym. And other than that, he believes that he's improving in the gym and he believes in his ability. Now, one thing I must say before I go a little bit deeper and get a little bit more rhythm with this video is that, what am I saying about Indongo? Indongo, I don't know what I was about to say. I lost my thought. I seen that question come up, but Indongo is a good fighter. I just get into it because I lost my train of thought. But Regis, he is flat-footed, like the comment just said. He's wild. He's rugged. He squares up when he punches. So, but Indongo is a guy that didn't have that large amateur background. Now, don't let him fool you with the rhythm. He looks good bouncing around, boxing, jabbing, long punches, and he understands how to fight. He caught on real quick to the boxing game in Indongo. You wouldn't tell that he only had a handful of amateur fights. But, Regis, if he understands and watch tapes on Regis Prograis, he's going to understand when Regis punches, Regis squares his body up. And Regis squares up a lot when he punches because he's getting that ultimate torque on those punches. But a good boxer is going to pick up to somebody who actually squares up a lot. When you square up, obviously boxers fight at that angle like this, because you half your body. But if you punching and squaring up like this, you giving the guy your whole body and a better punch radius to hit you, a better punch target to hit a bigger target. And if Indongo can understand that, he got a guy who never won 12 in Regis Prograis. You got a guy that likes to throw with a lot of mustard and don't know how to change speeds on punches. You got a guy that may headhunt instead of going to the body in this fight. You got to see. You got to see that. You got to all equate that coming into this fight. This guy doesn't take any speed off his punches. He's still young. He's throwing everything with a fastball for the most part. And Regis, he does have a high IQ. You hear him talk boxing. But at the end of the day, he has a lot of flaws because he's a young, inexperienced fighter on a world championship level facing a 2-time world title holder in Julius Indongo. And Indongo can use those experiences and those flaws in his favor. You see it. He's a good fighter, and Prograis. He got the pedigree and the look and the power, and he got the corner, and he got the IQ to be the best fighter at 140. He really does. But at the end of the day, every fighter's been where Regis Prograis is. A lot of fighters have, a lot of punchers have. Let me say that. Guys that don't know how to take, mustard off the punches, that throw everything real hard. And guys think they can knock everything out. And You get to that one fighter, you know, that knows how to use your aggressiveness against you and knows how to counter you. You know, it's gonna be tough. You know, it's gonna be tough, but you know, I don't know who to pick in this fight, man. Obviously, I have to break down film, and when I break down film, it's definitely a different type of vibe. You know, watching Prograis. Obviously, I haven't seen Prograis go the distance. Obviously, I think he trains hard. You know, he's very articulate. I think he's very smart. You know, we see. I don't think Indongo fights scared. I mean, he boxes. I mean, when you 5'11" at 140 pounds, I mean, I don't think, you know, you should be mixing it up with guys with shorter arms and that's more compact and sturdier and, you know, got that compact body. He uses his asset to his advantage, you know, in my opinion. You know, maybe with Crawford, the moment was bigger. Maybe Crawford hit him with something and he ain't like it, and it was just a matter of time till he crumbled and fell. Maybe you could be right on that. But the best fighter at 140, I don't know. It's a lot of people to be seen. A lot of people would just jump out and say Mikey Garcia with one win over Adrian Broner. I couldn't just give him that man. I like you know, Maurice Hooker's another 6'1", 140 guy. Yeah, Crawford. But at the end of the day, Crawford can punch. And Indongo, he been in different countries, but he ain't never, you know, faced a guy like Bud Crawford. So Bud Crawford hit him and hurt him, and he was kind of shell shocked when he got touched by Crawford. I mean, Crawford tends to do that to everybody. Look at Victor Postal. He's a guy who fought Lucas Matisse, who's seen as one of the bigger punchers in the world, even after going to war with John Molina, Danny Garcia, and Ruslan Provodnikov. You know, but you didn't see his face when he got hit by Matisse like that. Matisse's still a big puncher. The difference is when you look at Terrence Bud Crawford, his accuracy, his punch placement, him knowing how to change speed on punches. I mean, you know, it's different than being a puncher like Prograis. I mean, he's young, so I'm not trying to bash him or nothing like that. He's a good puncher. You know, he's a great puncher. But when he matures, he's going to be a better boxer, and Crawford is a better boxer. He's a boxer at 140 that really can punch, but you have to be more than just a power puncher. The accuracy was really hurt people. The counter punching ability that hurt people. The punch placement, the combination punching. Knowing where the guy's gonna be and anticipating where the guy's gonna be, you know, knowing how to utilize your overall boxing skill make Terrence Crawford that much dangerous, in my opinion. And who knows, Regis Prograis may get to the point where he kind of evolves and he kind of becomes a better boxer. But the Indongo fight, I mean, like, this is what I was gonna say earlier when I lost my mind. This is one of these rare occasions where the replacement fight was probably going to be better than the original fight, where Indongo was probably going to be better fight. The Indongo fight for Prograis was actually going to be better for the fans than the Victor Postal fight. You could say, like I said, this is what I'm getting back to Fred Thomas. You could say Prograis punches harder than Crawford. You could say Darnell Boone punched harder than Sergey Kovalev, which may be a fact. But knowing how to set the punches up and place the punches is totally different than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I heard his roadblock was also Earl Spence, but when you know how to place your punches, it makes you more dangerous as a power puncher. So Crawford is able to punch the plate. I agree that Prograis is an exceptional puncher and probably a better pure puncher than Terrence Crawford from what I've seen on film. But accuracy, punch placement, counter punching, knowing when to take the fastball off the punches, how to set the punches up, counter punching, moving and punching, fighting on the inside. I mean, Crawford has mastered that. You know, the best punches that hurt people are the punches that people don't see. And that's counter punching and defensive ability that Crawford has mastered. So in a grand scheme of things, Crawford probably is a better puncher, but I absolutely couldn't tell you who I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, he got good punch placement, yeah, but at the end of the day, watch the film. He squares up a lot. And when you square up versus a boxer puncher, that's the issue. He ain't went 12. I mean, that's another issue. So a lot of people, you guys think that, since, all these other great fighters went 12 rounds, this guy should have no different. I mean, until you see it, until you see it, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably going to say that Prograis gonna win this fight, in my opinion. but it'd be a good fight. Hey, that's a good. Hey, that's a really good point by boxing circles around the world. Yeah, when you move up in competition, especially when you move up to the elite, competition. You look at Keith Thurman, for example. Keith Thurman was knocking everybody out before he came on HBO. When he came on HBO, when he knocked Carlos Katana out, was that Herberto Soto he knocked out? I can't remember the first guy Madonna pulled out. He was knocking out everybody. But when you move up in competition, those knockouts seems to stop coming. So you have to develop other game. But boxing circles around the world is right. When you step up in competition, that tells you when your power is real good. Yeah, and that was real awkward, man, because he don't have an amateur background. His style is just unique. You won't see nobody else fighting like you don't see nobody fighting like Indongo around the world. But also I'm getting to a Q&A after this. But also Andre Dirrell and the Ukazi guy. Do you guys remember the fight where Andre Dirrell's uncle jumped in and punched the guy with a 2-piece? Apparently he beat that case. This is like last year. Me and Dirrell brother friends on Facebook. He beat that guy last year. He beat the case last year. So Ukazi and Dirrell gonna run it back. And a lot of people thought Ukazi was gonna win that fight anyway. He hit Dirrell after the bell, but it really wasn't after the bell. And I was telling people, man, when Andre Dirrell, which I'm from Michigan, he from Flint, so I totally support Clarissa Shields, him, and all those guys. But one thing I was telling people, man, I seen in one of Andre Dirrell fight. I don't know what the fight he fought before he fought James DeGale, but I was telling people, what up, Angel Santos, this is homie. I was telling people that Andre Dirrell, he wasn't the same fighter. He couldn't take the punches no more on the chin, on the face. Neurologically, he was done. You could just tell, he just couldn't take punches no more. His punch threshold was gone. And I told people James DeGale was going to whoop him. I'll get to that question in a minute. And he did, and Dirrell came on strong after the fight, but the Ukazi fight proved again, he can't take the punishment. So maybe, and a lot of people was, they thought Andre Dirrell may have faked that with Arthur Abraham. I was at that fight. I don't think he faked it. I think he really lost something in that fight. I think he really was injured in that fight because he ain't looked the same. He took a long time off. The reason people thought he took a long time off, boxing aficionados, media members, because he had an obligation to face Andre Ward next in the Super 6, and he just couldn't do it no more. Apparently, people say he wanted to duck Andre Ward. Sakio Bika stepped in. And Ukazi, it seems very hell-bent on proving Andre Dirrell wrong, and this fight is going to fall on the Luis Ortiz, Deontay Wilder card, Jamal Charlo, and Hugo Centennial Jr. as well. It's a good fight. I mean, it's going to be a television fight. It was a fight that had the juices flowing. It was a fight that kind of stole the card. I forgot what card on, but I can't even remember what card on, but I remember that fight because Ukazi, didn't hit him after the bell. Excuse me, he didn't hit him after the bell. And his uncle came in and stole the show and hit Ukazi with a 2-piece, and Ukazi didn't even flinch. So this is a good fight. I seen Dirrell do an interview. He out there in Oakland training with Andre Ward and Virgil Hunter and Amir Khan. I seen his brother Willie was driving in San Francisco. So they geared up. They're ready to go March 3rd. Andre Dirrell said when Andre Ward retired, he told Ben Thompson to fight hype. And kind of was a wake-up call for him because he like, man, he's retiring and I haven't even got a world title yet. And Andre Dirrell was seen as a more talented fighter, coming in professional ranks as Andre Ward when they first came in. People thought Andre Dirrell was going to be the next, big thing. And he just, the Arthur Abraham thing, and he just ain't, fulfilled that prophecy, man. And Andre Ward was able to move up, get belts, beat Kovalev, and retire, with a Hall of Fame resume. And Andre Dirrell trying to get a world title. Even his brother Anthony Dirrell overcame cancer, got a world title, fought for another world title again, and Dirrell fell short versus Froch, fell short versus DeGale, and he's still at 168 pounds, and it's starting to look like he may be one of the most talented fighters that never won a world title. It seems like he's going to fall into that list as well. And we get into the Q&A before I get up off. We can do Q&A. I got some good videos coming as well. Yeah, CTE. That could be CTE, concussion, something like that. I want to ask about the fact why Mikey Garcia is fighting a bum and lippiness. Obviously, who said that? Boxing fan. You can say that about Mikey Garcia, but obviously, he's trying to make history. He's trying to become a 4-time world champion in 4 different weight classes. Only something that Pacquiao and somebody else did, coming from featherweight all the way to 140. I think it was maybe Morales. I can't remember who the list was, but they had Pacquiao in it. It was it's only a handful of people who came from featherweight all the way to 140 and won 4 titles. Obviously, he turned down the Linares fight. Golden Boy was willing to fight Jorge Linares. I did a video about it. I guess the money was right. They said Al Heyman can be involved in. Could be involved in the deal. They wanted to work together, but obviously Oscar De La Hoya has appealed this lawsuit versus Al Heyman. Al Heyman, offered him Sergey Lipinets. Actually, Sergey Lipinets was supposed to face Adrian Broner. His management team said they had a side deal in place after he beat Acondo, which Acondo gave him everything he wanted for him to face Adrian Broner. And Lipinets was supposed to be heading up to 147 pounds soon after facing Broner. For some reason, Broner and Lipinets didn't happen. So Mikey Garcia seen a deal where he'd go face Lipinets, and Lipinets isn't a bum. I think Lipinets has a real chance a real shot at beating Mikey Garcia. Lipinets is a good puncher. Buddy McGurk is a great trainer. I was on record saying I think Lipinets can beat Mikey Garcia. Obviously, I'm gonna pick Mikey Garcia right now, but Lipinets, he had a world title fight. People got to understand Lipinets only got 12 or 13 professional fights. And Acondo, the guy from Asia, only fought in the same venue 30-some times. He never fought outside the venue. He came in strong. He cut Lipinets over the eye. So, a lot of people, y'all watch who y'all call bums. Lipinets is a formidable foe. Lipinets can fight, and he got a good jab. He got a good style. He got cut over the eye, and he faced some adversity, and that's how a world title fight should be. A world title fight should never be a wide open layup for a game winner. I would caution you guys to call Lipinets a bum. Lipinets can fight. I've been on that. I've heard about Lipinets was crying about him on the IBF shot versus Indongo. I turned on the film. Lipinets can fight. I don't think people realize Lipinets only got a handful of fights too, and he's a world titleist, and it's not an easy fight for Mikey Garcia, man. Let me keep going up. Yeah, I'm gonna go first. All right. Do you think Q&A here? So I got a question. Go ahead and shoot it. Do you think Aaron will wish only his belt for it? Obviously, shout out to Andre Joseph for the super chat. Y'all can shoot me a donation through the super chat. Appreciate it. Obviously, sorry y'all. I'm about to put it. Here we go. He wants to know boxing circles around the world. And if you got a channel, let me know, bro. I'm gonna go subscribe to your channel because I think you probably do. I haven't seen it, so I have to subscribe to it. Do you think Aaron will risk his only belt at 47 with potentially Crawford Horn, to unify? And man, that's a good question. And I'm gonna let y'all know something. Joseph Crawford. Jeff Horn. I was about to say Joe Horn. Joe Horn, the old great New Orleans Saints wide receiver. I'm gonna go subscribe to your channel, but Jeff Horn. I think this is Aaron's last option on Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn is not a top ranked fighter. What Bob Arum likes to do, which we talk about a lot. If he works with other promoters, he works with lower tier promoters. He wants to get options on. He won't get fighters to get options on. So basically, he like, all right. He put in a contract. If Jeff Horn beats Manny Pacquiao, I want the next 2 options on Jeff Horn. So that means he wants to be able to promote Jeff Horn's next 2 fights. So which he promoted the Gary Cochran fight, which was a great fight. It was a good fight, action packed wise. Nice promoting the Terrence Crawford fight. So if Jeff Horn then signed another deal with Bob Arum, Jeff Horn would be a free man after facing Terrence Crawford if he could beat Terrence Crawford. But we know Crawford probably gonna get that belt, and I don't think it's gonna be easy as most people think. But Bud gonna do his thing. But I don't know. Obviously, I'm gonna tell you this. Lomachenko's dad told Ellie Seckbach that they wasn't interested in the Pacquiao fight. So if that's the case, maybe Pacquiao could make him and Crawford. Maybe Aaron can make Pacquiao Crawford. If not, I believe it may be a rematch between Jeff Horn and Terrence Crawford if that's a close fight or a competitive fight. If not, I think it would be Pacquiao Crawford or Crawford versus David Benavidez. We also see how they setting that up. It could be Crawford versus Konstantin Pulemarv. Konstantin Pulemarv is beefing with Top Rank because they didn't accommodate Abel Sanchez being at his fight, and they threw a show the same night that Abel Sanchez had 2 corners to work. So they went back to Russia and said F Top Rank, so they beefing, so maybe they can offer that to him. I look for them to make as many mandatory WBO defenses once Crawford get that belt. I look for them to make as many in-house fights with maybe Benavidez, Pacquiao. Even you could see Lomachenko and him fight, maybe in the next couple of years. They may face Lomachenko to move up to fight him. They gonna basically, what I'm saying is, look for Bob Arum to exhaust every option and every scenario before he puts them in with Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. Obviously, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence gonna fight before Terrence Crawford. They get Terrence Crawford to fight either one of them. But I think it looked like Bob Arum don't have no choice, and I think if he don't, look for Terrence Crawford to holler at Al Heyman to get him out that deal. Al Heyman is the only guy that gets people out Top Rank without going through long litigation or long court hearings. He got Floyd out for $250,000. Eventually, it's kind of fishy. It's kind of funny. I'm not gonna say fishy. It's kind of funny that Mikey Garcia automatically walks away from Top Rank after 2 years of hard, battle in court and through the lawyers and stuff of that nature. Then he just signs with Al Heyman. Al Heyman got him out that deal. So we'll see, man. But I think eventually Bob will. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna follow your channel. Do you think Andre Ward is coming out of retirement to fight the winner? Andre Ward said he has no intentions on coming out of retirement. I would say that Tony Bellew probably fights the winner. If Usyk is the winner, Tony Bellew is gonna fight Usyk. But I mean, he's working out still. So if the money's right, I mean, like James Toney said, they all come back. So I would bet that that Andre Ward comes back, in my opinion. Yes, I think he will come back. I don't know if Marat Gasby wins the tournament, he's moving up to heavyweight. He's already said it. He's going to heavyweight. So it's gonna be either Usyk, Ward, Bellew, those three. That only makes sense. Andre Ward flexed at 199. Andre Durrell talked about in his interview with Ben Thompson. He said that he talked to Andre Ward right before he made the decision to retire. He said that's all they talked about was the retirement. He said he knew he was gonna retire, so he don't know if he don't think he coming back. Abel gonna keep Pulemarv far away from Bud Crawford. At the end of the day, Pulemarv is obligated, to do what Top Rank say. He pulled out of the Carlos Pulemarv fight, Carlos Ocampo fight, because Abel Sanchez gonna be in his corner. It is what it is. Any more questions? Wait for 1 second. Oh yeah, thanks, Andre Joseph. Much love. You can stay, but wanted to show love for sure. Appreciate it, my brother. Shout out to him for supporting the super chat. But I got keep asking questions, man. If y'all got any more questions, we got after this video process, I'm gonna put out the Ronald Garville and David Benavidez prediction. I already did the Groves and Eubanks. That's gonna be the best prediction video, or at least the longest I did. How will Charlo get a belt when all of the belts at 160 are on HBO? Well, okay, that's a good question. Let me give it a shout out. Boxing circles around the world again. Charlo, okay, this is what's gonna happen. We talked about this before with Canelo. Okay, what's happening with Canelo Triple G? Obviously, Canelo is not fighting for Triple G's WBC middleweight belt. I did a video on that. You can go check in the archive. I did it probably like Saturday. He's not fighting for that belt. Forget about it. It's not happening. So, since he's not fighting for the IBO and the WBC belt, who cares about the IBO and Canelo Alvarez when he rematched Triple G? He didn't fight for the WBC belt or the IBO the first time with Triple G. They tried to spin it that way, but he didn't fight for it. Obviously, we know why Canelo's beefing with the WBC. If you don't know, check the archives, the video. I just did it Saturday. So if Triple G loses to Canelo, the WBC belt becomes vacant. Obviously, we know that Jamal Charlo, Hugo Centennial Jr., March 3rd is fighting for the interim title belt. So what could happen is when you're interim title, if Triple G loses to Canelo, that belt will go to Charlo, which I would like it to go to between the winner between Charlo and Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is the number 2 contender. He's the number 3 contender for the belt. Canelo's number 2 and Charlo's number 1, but the WBC don't get it. Canelo turned down a championship fake belt versus Chavez Jr. they made. He turned down the belt versus Triple G. He turned down the belt against Triple G again. So, obviously, the interim, whoever wins between Hugo Centennial Jr. and Jamal Charlo, if Triple G loses, that belt goes to them, to the winner of that fight. I would like it personally for it to be Danny Jacobs versus Jamal Charlo. They tried to make that for the interim title belt. Eddie Hearn HBO don't want any smoke with Jamal Charlo. Obviously, HBO side, it'll be dumb business, because why would you invest in Andrade? They invested a 3-fight deal in him, a 5 or 6 fight deal in Danny Jacobs. They got to deal with Triple G. They got to deal with Canelo. Shevchenko fights on there as well. He's with Andre Wazir. They got all these deals around. So if Jamal Charlo walks over to HBO, beats Danny Jacobs, wins the interim belt, Triple G loses, he get the belt, run back over to Showtime, then that's another guy they got to pay a multi-fight deal to, and probably a handsome deal dealing with an Al Heyman fight, especially because he got some pull. So obviously that's how he gonna get his belt. So it is what it is, man. That's his way he gonna get his belt. Hopefully I answered your question. What's your opinion on Abel Sanchez? Oh, that wasn't even Abel Sanchez's first interview that he did about saying they gonna duck Jamal Charlo. Last year he did one with Dante Box Nation, said they didn't want any smoke with Jamal Charlo. He hadn't done nothing. He wasn't nobody. He's always putting his foot in his mouth. He said that one day Willie Monroe, after winning the Boxino tournament at 154 pounds, was a bigger fighter than Erislandy Lara. More people knew who Willie Monroe was. Obviously, they saying Charlo's nobody, but who was Dominic Wade? Who was Willie Monroe? Who was Matthew Macklin? Who was Proska? Who was Gabriel Rosado? I mean, who was Ishida? Who was Adamo? Who was fighting a guy? He just came off a fight before he fought Triple G, a guy that was 22 and 26. So, obviously, they said they want money over legacy. People kill Floyd for, insinuating that he wanted money over legacy. Obviously, we know certain fighters get that G-Pass, and Triple G is one of them. He got one of the worst fabricated, resumes in boxing. I've been saying that since I had 100 subscribers, less than that. I didn't beef with people over that, but obviously, this is. I mean, they don't want to fight him. I'm not mad at him. He's not the first fighter that didn't want to fight his, somebody. But what pissed me off is, for years they've been crying about a mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we want a mandatory. We got a mandatory. But now your mandatory is somebody that most people in the Lions Den box community, most Americans want to see fight. You fight, and it's a fighter that you don't have a physical advantage over like Danny Jacobs, but he's more of a aggressive fighter than Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs showed people that he kind of had finesse in his game. Like, he kind of was, I don't want to call him like a punani, but he fought scared versus Triple G, and Kenny Porter kind of ethered him for that and said he should have fought more aggressive. But he got confident, he got more aggressive in the fight. Jamal Charlo, he won't fight finesse with Triple G. Either he gonna get knocked out, or he gonna knock out Triple G, or get knocked out trying. So he said, yeah, I saw both. Just thought it was gay when he said disrespectful that Charlo was doing nothing at all. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you this. What's good at Fanon? Shout out to Fanon Boxing, man. That's the homie right there. Hey, what's funny about that is about him, dissing Charlo. I said the same thing about Jamal Charlo. What pissed me off about that was the fact that a lot of people thinks that Jamal Charlo is the better Charlo brother. He's definitely not. Jamal Charlo was the Charlo that got the title shot first before Jamel. Jamal Charlo did not do shit to deserve a title shot versus K9 Bun Rich. That was politics, but you know what? I'm man enough to admit that. But the thing about Jamal Charlo is the fact that he waited his turn. Jamel fought all the tough fights. He fought Gabriel Rosado, Demetrius Hopkins, Charlie Muyaki, whatever, Moaki guy. he fought the tough fighters coming at 154 pounds. But obviously, he got his championship fight after he had a tough fight with Vanes Monterosian, and you know, he had a tough fight with John Jackson. That's when him and Derek James got together. But now he did get on the road. You know, Jamal Charlo, he beat a tough veteran in Austin Trout, who gave Canelo hell, who beat Miguel Cotto. Julian J. Rock was a lot of people's top prospect. People thought that he would beat Jamal Charlo. People said, remember Jamal Charlo stalling that fight out, saying that he was legally blind and had to get LASIK surgery. People was picking J. Rock to beat Charlo. Charlo knocked him out, moved on. So at the end of the day, he could have moved up and avoided, you know, Julian. Why I keep calling this dude J-Rock, Julian Williams. He could have avoided Julian Williams. He really could have. But, you know, he stayed there. He fought Julian Williams. Julian Williams talked a lot of junk, got knocked out. So at the end of the day, he's proven himself, and people know who the Charlo twins are. Obviously, I'm going to still stay on the side that I think Jamel is better. But Jamal is becoming full circle. He's aggressive. And at 6'1" or almost 6'2", Hugo Centennial is 6'2" as well. He poses a big threat for Triple G. He's athletic. He can box. He can move. He got defense. He can punch. But obviously, I can see Triple G winning that fight as well, too. Triple G is no joke. I'll tell you that. Thoughts on Angel Garcia? Hey, I heard Angel Garcia comments on Thurman Shot. What up, Trey P? I heard Danny Garcia first. Basically, Angel insinuated that Danny Garcia injured Keith Thurman's arm. And Danny said it first, said, oh, you see what we did to Keith Thurman. We injured his arm. He'll never be the same because of Danny Garcia. That's that Puerto Rican power in the left hook. Obviously, Keith said he had injury before the fight, which could be questionable. You know, I can question that because, remember, he got in a car accident versus Sean Porter. He postponed the fight, and Kenny Porter was asking, where was the injury report? Where's the police report? Where's the medical documents? And Keith Thurman never produced that. So, I mean, I'm a side on caution to say Keith Thurman was injured before that fight, and you know, I don't believe that Danny did anything in the fight that hurt, you know, Keith Thurman intentionally, or he, you know, hit him and hurt him. I mean, Angel Garcia is crazy. When you winning and your son doing well, like LeVar Ball and his son, they doing well, you got more cushion to talk. But once you take that L like Danny did, now things that Angel Garcia is saying is sounding a little bit crazy. Oh yeah, Jamal is definitely the better puncher. I don't know if he's at the better jab, but obviously Jamel has the better footwork. Jamel is the better defensive fighter. Now with Derek James, he's being more offense. But if Jamel actually had to go back to his old style of being more of a defensive counterpuncher, he's more defensively skilled in more defensive skill, more of a counterpuncher, more of a mover. But now he's being more aggressive. He's cutting the ring off. They have two different jabs. Jamel jab is longer. It's more of a power jab. Jamal jab is more powerful, longer. Jamel is more of a peppering jab, a little bit more, in my opinion. I told you before that Jamel is better than Jamal. Yeah. Jamal's just bigger, obviously. A lot of people like bigger, but it's close. You know, they both have their own styles. Maybe I favor the boxer style better. Who does Jamel and Tank fight, Nick? I don't know. Oh, Tank is, I don't know. But Tank is supposed to be facing Billy Dibbs. I'll get into that story right now. Billy Dibbs was supposed to face Tevin Farmer for the mandatory shot to face Gervonta Tank Davis when he still held that IBF belt versus Forsaco. Obviously, Billy Dibbs turned down the mandatory defense after Tevin Farmer told Tank. Tank said, you know what, we could pay Billy Dibbs. You know, I had Mayweather Promotions pay Billy Dibbs off. He can get the winner between us on Mayweather-McGregor undercard. Tevin said, no, I want to enjoy the process and face Billy Dibbs like an idiot. As soon as he said that, Forsaco signed, Billy Dibbs pulled out. Now Billy Dibbs is back into the scene. And, you know, Mayweather Promotions, which, you know, Billy Dibbs was signed to TMT with 50 Cent. But when Mayweather got out, 50 Cent wanted Floyd to drop Al Heyman, and they wanted to take TMT and let Floyd go to do a world tour at the Superdome, you know, Jerry World. He had all these different venues that wanted Floyd to fight. And Floyd basically, we know, don't want to fight out of Vegas no more. And he not getting rid of Al Heyman. So him and 50 beef started, and 50 just didn't know what to do with TMT Promotions. But Jamel, I actually don't know who Jamel gonna fight next. I mean, what's the dude? Gallimore. the Jamaican guy. He's supposed to face Julian J. Rock Williams, but I haven't heard nothing about that fight. You know, I don't know if Julian gonna take the fight, so maybe they can get Gallimore to fight him. The pickings at 154 is so slim right now. I usually look at the rankings, but it's nobody that pops to me at 154. Nobody. I don't know what they're gonna do. I couldn't even give you an answer on that one. Triple G is done. He's old, rich now, and testosterone levels are dropping from here on out. His style doesn't last. Yeah, you know, you could say that, man, but you know, he should have unified. I mean, he should have unified with Billy Joe Saunders by now. He's gonna get older and older. They talking about a trilogy fight with him and Canelo already. Talking about doing the third fight. Even Leonard LB Double Down said the third fight gonna happen. So I don't know, man. Triple G ain't. I mean, the style he fight. I mean, he gonna break down. He takes too many punches. I mean, you know. I mean, for somebody that has Hall of Fame ambitions, his resume is weak as fuck. But he has Hall of Fame ambitions. But I mean, I understand that people say they throw this. Oh, Marvin Hagler never moved up. Marvin Hagler never moved up. Okay, Marvin Hagler. I mean, Marvin Hagler paid his dues at 160. I mean, he fought some of the toughest fighters on the East Coast in Philadelphia. He did. I mean, it's always an exception to the rule. But Triple G, I mean, this is gonna happen with Triple G. Excuse me. This is a perfect scenario for Triple G. He beats Canelo Alvarez. He unifies with Billy Joe Saunders. They want to fit 2 more fights in this year after Canelo Alvarez, so immediate rematch probably ain't gonna fucking happen. He wants to fight 3 more times unless the money is just so much in his favor and he beats Canelo and they want an immediate rematch, but I don't see that happening. He fights Canelo. He unifies with Billy Joe Saunders. He fights, and then he fights Canelo in May again. Or he fights Chrissy Banks Jr. Or whoever wins the World Boxing Super Series tournament and tries to unify at 168. But the problem for Triple G at 168 is the fact that he's worried about Jamal Charlo. But it's there's about 3 people at 168 pounds who is over 6'2" or 6'2" and above. Jesse Hart is almost 6'3", 6'2 and a half. Gilberto Ramirez is 6'3". He's been calling out Triple G for like 4 or 5 years. One of my favorite fighters. Callum Smith is 6'3". I mean, it's a lot of tall guys up there. So, I mean, I eventually think he's if Chrissy Banks Jr. wins that Super Series tournament, I think it's gonna be Billy Joe Saunders in the UK or wherever the hell they're trying to do that, and I think it's gonna be Chrissy Banks Jr. in the UK, and maybe a Canelo fight somewhere down the line if you want to move down. But I think that's gonna be his retirement fight, in my opinion. I think Keith Thurman injured himself. Keith Thurman injured himself. He injured himself in camp. He said he couldn't spar. And obviously, I watched him in Camp Life with the Boxing Voice. Shout out to them. He was training. After training, he was just giving an interview to Nestor. He was moving around. He had ice on his elbow, so obviously his elbow, he's still rehabilitating it. So they might push that May 19th date back. You know, my sure Triple G is all the good boy crap with Abel. Now they crying because WC moved. WC moved probably the most dangerous 54. Right. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they pushed the big tough Triple G big drama show. He gonna whoop this guy. He gonna beat that guy. They pushed that. They did, but it's easy to push that when it's nobody at 160 that's dangerous. Obviously, for years, Kelly Pavlik and Sergio Martinez was looking for opponents for years, and they didn't find it. And then Triple G came along. He didn't find an opponent, but he stayed so long at 60. At 160 pounds that it heated up. When, quite honestly, he should have unified Billy Joe Saunders. He should be fighting Canelo in May. You know, a whole undisputed champion, a man going to 68 and getting some of that love at 68, becoming a 2-weight champion and probably being retired by now. You know, at the end of the day, he stuck around to the competition level, caught up to his age. And unfortunately, you know, 54, we fight anybody from 54 to 75. That's what they said. Then he changed it to 54, 68. Canelo said, come down to 55 and fight me right now. I'll give you the fight right now. Oh, no, we only do 160. You know, all that. I mean, all those comments going to come back to bite you in your ass. Is Broner Figueroa still on after Broner? Yeah, apparently I haven't heard Omar say anything. I've done interviews with his trainer, Joel Diaz, before with another boxing group. I haven't heard nothing from nobody. So the fight's still on. I think it's Ticket TV. Ticket TV, shout out to him. He said that it was just all you know, just for show to get more ratings for his fight. I think it is. I think Broner just, you know, trying to get ratings for his fight. Obviously, his fight is kind of lost in the sauce because, you know, a lot of people don't know who Omar Figueroa is on a casual level. And, you know, Broner want to stay doing those high ratings on Showtime. So if you stay doing high ratings on Showtime, he stays the main event. He stays the shotgun. So I think he was just trying to sell the fight. Maybe he was going through some things, but I don't think it was serious at all. I think him and Omar are still going to fight. I think it was April 7th or something like that. Or April 21st. And he better, you know, he better be on his P's and Q's. You know how I know this kind of was fake? And I don't know if them guys, Money Brown TV, who talked about it, Ticket TV, who talked about it. Devin Alexander, after he dropped that rant, Devin Alexander said Kevin Cunningham is exactly what Adrian Broner need on boxing scene, and said Broner was gonna destroy Figueroa and he looking good in the gym. So I don't believe none of that. I almost feel like shout out to the body snatcher Vince. You know, he always comment. Almost feel like they need to get rid of the WBO and go back to 3 belts in most cases, not all, but move and usually weakest. I mean, if they get rid of WBO, I mean, Top Rank's dead. Top Rank don't have nothing to go on. You know, Golden Boy dudes work with the WBO. They did. I don't know. I think legitimately it should only be 2 belts. I think it should be the whatever. What James Toney said, we beat Crooks, WBC, and the WBA. And I say 3, WBC, WBA, and I got a lot of respect for the IBF. Because they real strict on their rules. Then the 3 belts I keep. You're right. WBO is the only reason the WBO is the weak link is because they don't have big fights. They don't have big fights in WBO. It's all in-house Top Rank and Golden Boy BS. So yeah, I agree with that. Indongo needs to stay focused. He got a lot of promotional issues right now. And shout out to Blood Boxing Returns. He's right. Obviously, his old promotional company is mad with him, and Lou DiBella said that they tried to cut them out the deal, or they stole Julius and Indongo. So look for a court case with Lou DiBella and that whoever that old sanctioning belt, that old promotional company they got on. Shout out to Blood Boxing Returns, Angel Santo. I would like to see Jacobs versus Saunders by the end of the year, but yep, it wasn't gonna happen because Triple G did it to you guys. Triple G, Billy Joe Saunders is waiting on the Triple G fight. Billy Joe Saunders is going to retire in 2 years, I believe. He said he done. I mean, he probably going to go up to 68 and get a title if he beats Triple G. He's a gypsy, and a lot of people been schooling me on the gypsy lifestyle in the UK and why they got banished from the UK. Obviously, gypsies do a lot of bare-knuckle fights, and Billy Joe Saunders is no stranger to that. And his chin supposed to be super good. Man, that McCullum video was another good one, bro. For sure. Let's see. Broner was favored to smoke Omar Figueroa at 35. Oh, yeah. I'm going to get to that. Heyman doesn't put Broner in back. Omar hands won't hold up for 12. It will be Broner. No, I disagree with that. Triple H 1200. Only reason I say that is because Omar Figueroa let those hands heal. He took a long time off. Now, this is the Omar Figueroa that's coming off the DeMarco and the Ricky Burns performance at 140. Or even one will come off the Jerry Belmontes. He looked very, very whack. After that fight with the Asian guy, that was probably like one of the fights of the year that year, he didn't look good. But this is a situation that Triple H 1200 is talking about. Broner was the WC champion at 35 after he beat DeMarco and Gavin Reese. He jumped up to 2 weight classes to face part of Najee. He still was the WC 35-pound champion. And Figueroa fought the Asian guy. It was one of the best fights I've seen live. He fought him. So he was the interim title belt. Broner gave the belt up. He became the regular champion. When he was an interim title belt holder, Omar, he was Broner mandatory if Broner was to come back down. Obviously, at the time, everybody would have picked Broner to smoke Figueroa. But Figueroa took some time off, which he needs to do. And that's the one guy I say need to take a year or 2 years off every once in a while, or only fight once or twice a year. Figueroa, he fights in a savage, style, but he let his hands heal. He let his body heal. He beat Robert Guerrero, what was it, last July or something like that. But he's healed up for this fight with Broner. He's definitely healed up for this fight with Adrian Broner. But I can see, like Triple H said, him hurting his hands again. I can see that happening, but I don't think so. I think that he's gonna do. I'm not gonna pick him, but I think he's gonna have a great performance versus Broner. He's everything that's wrong with Broner at this point, but he's everything that could be right with Broner. He has limited defense, and Broner's gonna be able to tee off and hit him when he wants to. But can Broner let his hands go? How effective will Broner be at 140? Can Figueroa overwhelm him with punches? And if Omar Figueroa knocks out Broner, look for Figueroa versus Earl Spence to be pushed in Texas as probably one of the biggest fights in Texas between two Texas guys that I can remember, because that fight is gonna sell out. It probably sell out everything but Jerry World, in my opinion. Exactly. Then it forces Top Rank to make fights with Goldie. Yep. Or it would face Vince. It would face Top Rank to create their own belt, the ESPN Top Rank Championship belt. Remember when they was talking about PBC Premier Boxing Champions was gonna have their own league belt? I think they're really gonna try that shit, man. I really do. Do not say Guerrero name. Martinez, not Guerrero. Hey, but I'll say this: Martinez, not Guerrero, out on his feet. Yeah, that was like a 3 o'clock fight in the Carson, California StubHub. But I had never seen anybody do Robert Guerrero like Omar Figueroa did him. That is true, but Omar looked healthy in that fight, and if he's healthy like that, he might give old boy some problems, Broner. But I ain't picking him just yet. Let me see. This wow, this chat is awesome, everyone. Oh yeah, thanks. Shout out to everybody. I think the winner of Alexander Ortiz fight. Yeah. I think I heard that. That's what's funny about I'm gonna see who said that. Trey P. I heard that. Devin Ortiz winner is supposed to get a fight with Thurman or somebody else. So yeah, that can happen because it's February, especially Ortiz chin. I'm gonna tell you one thing about Ortiz. I dropped a prediction video last night for this fight. Ortiz looks good physically when he fights. His hands look good. You seen a fighter that kind of like I made the analogy on the video, I believe, Angulo. When Angulo went to war with Kirkland, then he got the Hemoto versus Erislandy Lara. When he fought Canelo, he had no punch stem on his punches. Well, Ortiz, you don't get that. He still got legs. He still physically look good. He still got his faculties about him. He still got the high guard. He still punch good. You could tell Ortiz is good, but he got the same problem as Andre Durrell. And he can't take punches no more. Neurologically, he can't take the punches no more. When he get hit, he just crumble. Mentally, he's always been seen as soft and a quitter, but I don't think this got nothing to do with it. I think it's just physically. He took enough punishment. And he's just done. If Devin can land flush, Devin gonna get that Thurman fight. I think as well. Thurman's next fight in 2 months, the winner won't. I think they might. Because I heard that rumor, and I think they might. I think eventually, the Thurman fight might get pushed back as well, Triple H. But I think if Devin knocks Victor Ortiz out early, or Ortiz knocks Devin out early, that's real in play. I think that the opportunity to face the number 1 welterweight, especially for Devin Alexander, and they both are stable. They both are in Florida. Devin, Kevin Cunningham, ex-police officer, ex-trainer of Unified Undisputed Champion Corey Spinks, out of St. Louis, moved his camp to West Palm Beach, Florida. My brother used to stay there, loved it. But we'll see. But that fight is supposed to be in the Barclays Center, but I think they might push that back if that's the case. It sounds about right. See what happened with Gavin and Yep. That all could happen. And Thurman said he wasn't fighting the guy at the top 10. So definitely when we get off this, the Ronald Garville, David Benavidez rematch breakdown prediction video coming. Then later tonight, I got some more video requests coming. Then I'll drop tonight. I'll drop the Eubanks Jr. and Groves. That's a good prediction video I did. But Ronald Garville and Benavidez may be the best fight on PBC Network this weekend. If you didn't see the first fight, the full fight is on YouTube. That was a great fight. I had Ronald winning by 1 point because of a knockdown. But a lot of people thought Benavidez still won, but it was a close fight. Hell yeah. I picked Callum Smith to win the whole thing. But I didn't know he was out the ring for so long. He looked like shit versus that Eric. I don't know that guy's name. He looked like shit versus that guy. But Callum Smith is a good fighter. He's 6'3". He good fighter. It's Lima Smith's brother. He's a fighter. He could beat anybody on any given night. especially a guy like Groves. Groves is a good fighter. And I'll give you a little insight on the prediction video I did about him and Groves and Eubanks. Groves' biggest problem, he got two big problems in George Groves. And I think George Groves is one of the most talented fighters in the world. He got two problems. One problem with George Groves is he don't have no defense. His defense, he has slip punches every now and again and move his head, but his defense, his head don't move off the spot. And the second problem with George Groves, I noticed on film, is that he don't fight with no aggressiveness enough. He don't come forward enough, let me say. Everything he likes to do is fight off the ropes, fight off the back foot. He has to learn to come forward, because if he punches with that type of power, fighting off the ropes and boxing and moving backwards, imagine if he came with that right hand and that sharp jab down, pushing guys back. He would knock out a lot more people than he has done. And he's a talented fighter. He's one of my favorite guys overall. Not even the UK. It's just the fact that he's not aggressive enough. He don't come downhill enough. And if he let Eubanks Jr. come downhill on him, he may can counter and hurt him to the body. But I don't know. It'd be a good fight. Yeah, that's all he do. Groves is a counter puncher, but if he develops some aggressive offense, he get way more knockouts. That right hand and how good that jab is for Groves, and how deadly that right hand is, no matter if he throws an uppercut, a straight right, a hook. Groves, with that talent, I know he got the stamina issue, should be a pound-for-pound fighter. Mentally, it's not even mental with him. It's all style schematic. He needs to get with somebody that can teach him to be more aggressive, in my opinion. Yeah, that guy, I can't pronounce his name. Yeah. He didn't look good, but he had a long layoff. He was supposed to face Anthony Durrell. I actually asked Anthony Durrell about him in New York City when I went for Jacobs and Triple G, and he didn't sound too fantastic about facing Callum Smith. He like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I knew, and at that point, I knew he wasn't gonna take that fight. I knew Anthony wasn't gonna take that fight. Well, he tried to be aggressive, and Froch, yeah, true. I mean, hey. Yeah, Froch did catch him. I think the first fight with Froch was some BS. Yeah, he did give him fits at point. And that guy just came back, or about to come back on the card, on the World Boxing Super Series card, the Eric guy. He about to come back. Well, I'm going to turn it in, y'all. Looking forward to the prediction video for Ronald and David Benavidez. It's going to be a great fight. And Groves and Eubanks. And I got a few more videos coming in. You can check out the video I did about James Toney that said he had knocked out Bernard Hopkins. So, well, shout out to Matthew Valentine. Brick City, Jersey in the building. But, I'm telling you guys, Chris Eubanks Jr. and George Groves is probably going to, and Benavidez and Ronald's going to be two great fights this weekend. Obviously, I'm about to get dragged to a fucking gender reveal party this Saturday. I got to finesse my way out of that. I don't want to go. But if you want to watch the Groves and Eubanks Jr. Fight, post in the comment section. Let me know. I'll send you my link to my tech channel, and I'll show you how to get the APK that can help you get that fight as well. Or you can do Mob Draw. If it's on ITV box office, I don't know, Mob Draw bullshit. But you want the live stream the APK, and that help you get the Eubanks Jr. and Groves fight for sure. Or obviously they've been streaming it on Facebook as well. You put Eubanks Jr. George Groves while the fight on, you can get the whole stream. It's clear as well. And if not, hit me up on Facebook through the link on the other videos, and I'll tag you in the Goat D. Who's Goat D? What about Goat D? I don't know what that means. Hey, if you elaborate real quick, I'll hang on. What about Goat D? Who is Goat D? I'll give you. I was gonna give him a chance. What about Goat D? I don't know who Goat D is. It usually has a string. Oh, Goat D. Oh yeah, I don't know Goat D, to be honest. I don't know about Goat D. But worst case scenario, you can always do first row. Shout out to Matt Valentine for the super chat. And shout out to the other brother who did the super chat, Mr. Joseph. We gone.